Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining Becoming a Wise Agent webinar podcast series. I am Eleni Summershield. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at Wise Agent. And I have with us Michael Tart, and we are going to be talking about leveraging Google My Business for prospecting. Michael, you and I met a couple of months ago from a mutual friend, Nakia Brooks.
Yep.
Nakia Brooks is a great friend of mine, and I know he's a friend of yours as well.
Yep,
so
absolutely. He's a good guy.
Yes, the power of relationship, guys. I mean,
that's right.
I do exactly what I tell you guys doing, like networking and talking to people.
Go to your conferences, do everything that you should be doing in this industry for sure.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. So, Michael, I would love to hear a little bit about you. And while Michael is kind of introducing himself to you all, I would love it if you guys can introduce yourselves to us in the chat. If you can go in and just tell us what city, state, and brokerage you're with, and how many years you've been in the industry. I love seeing that. So I'm interested to see where you guys are coming from, and I'll let Michael, I'll let you kind of take it away and introduce yourself.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on here. And thanks again to everybody joining us. We're going to make this a very powerful 1 hour for your business. So again, my name is Michael Tart. I live in North Texas, but I travel and train all over the United States. I've been training real estate agents now since 2001. Prior to that, I was a middle school and high school teacher here in football town, USA, which is known as Texas. So Friday Night Lights, all the crazy insanity, did that for 6 years. It's all true. It's nuts. It was fun. It was wild, but got out of that in 2001. And then I started to travel and train real estate agents and business owners all over the U.S., all over North America. We met at the Georgia Association of Realtors. I was training there. But here's just a quick map of all the locations that I've trained since I've started going out and doing this. And in addition to the training that I provide, I also have a business partner who runs the website and social media design side of our business. And here's everything that we can do for real estate agents and business owners. It's a lot. People see this page and are like, holy moly, like, where do I start? We'll show you something at the end of the session where you guys can start. But just know that my business partner who runs that, he is actually the former IT director for Petco. So we can help you on a lot of different platforms to build and grow your business. And the one thing that I like to tell everybody in my training sessions, I like to do the free stuff and I like to do the easy stuff because I'm cheap and I'm lazy. Can I get an amen? Right? I mean, it's like, we get nickel and dime quite a bit, right? And as we all know. And so we want to go in and we want to take advantage of all of the free things that are out there and do those first. And one of those primary things that we need to be doing is using Google. Now, we were talking, Elena and I were talking just a little bit ago, like, some people are like, oh my gosh, Google, big tech, big brother, looking over my shoulder. That's all correct. They are. And the problem with this as a real estate agent is you have to somewhat put yourself out there, right? You can't shy away from Google. And just know this, you can't run from Google. I shared this before we went live. Google announced earlier this year that for them to build their AI system, which is called Bard, they announced that no matter what and where you are, whatever you put on the internet, they're going to data scrape that and use that to help build their AI system.
But
and
Michael,
it's not talking about what's on Google, it's everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not just Google. I know I talk to lots and lots of, not just realtors, but just people in general about technology. And a lot of them are like, oh, I don't have an Android phone because I don't want Google to have all my information. I'm like, okay, well, what kind of phone do you have? And I'm thinking they're going to tell me they have a flip phone. And they're like, oh, I have an iPhone. And I was like, okay, so then Apple has all your information. It's, it's not about like what kind of device you have, if they're going to get your contact info or your information, they already have it. They already have it. If you're on social media, if you're using a smartphone,
many of these companies have agreements in place to share this data back and forth for a fee. And we all sign up for, these free, quote unquote, free apps. but none of us ever read the terms and conditions because it's 30 pages long, 0.5 font. We're like, firstborn. Okay, yeah,
I'm
whatever.
lucky if it's 30 pages. They're more
Yeah,
like 75 to 100 pages.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And in there with the free apps, they basically say you're giving them permission to data collect and then resell that data. And that's why these free, quote unquote, free apps are free. They're taking the data and they're reselling it. It's the number one industry in the whole world, right?
Yeah.
As we
I
all
mean,
know.
if you don't want an image on Google or online, use a Polaroid. I mean,
Exactly.
really, that's just really kind of boils down to that. So,
Well, based on some of the MLS photos that I see out there, I think some of them are using Polaroids. It's pretty bad, right? Now, one thing that we do want to bring up, and we want to not spend a huge amount of time on, but it's the hottest topic. There's two hot topics, right? It's the lawsuit out there between NAR and the other brokerages, and then of course Follow Up Boss being purchased by Zillow. And this is not going to turn into we're bashing any of them. We're just letting you guys know here's what's happening is Follow Up Boss has announced that they're being acquired by Zillow. So who you work with matters. And that's why Wise Agent has a good working relationship with Zillow, but at the same time is protecting your data. They don't have access to the data that's inside of your CRM, your contacts, and the such in Wise Agent. So being a Wise Agent user, kudos to you, right? You're already ahead of the game right there.
yeah.
Elaine, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, we're a bootstrap company, so we don't have any VC funding or anything like that. So your data is your data. We don't share that out. Read our terms of service. I always encourage everyone to read not just our terms of service, but any technology that you're working with, or any kind of you all send out agreements all day long, right? In real estate. I have a freshman in college, and she's setting up for her housing situation for next year, and she sends me I'm her guarantor for her lease for next year, and she's like, all right mom, just sign this lease. And I looked at it, it was like 57 pages long. I'm like, honey, I gotta read this. And she's like, no, you don't, just sign it. I'm like, that's not how agreements work. I'm like, I have to read the whole entire thing. And so just read your agreements, read everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that we are going to be talking about is, of course, Google. We're going to spend a lot of time on the Google Business Profile page, but I'm going to share some of the integrations that you have with Wise Agent because they are pretty powerful. One of those integrations that we're going to start with here in just a second is going to be Chrome extensions. So if you go into your Wise Agent account and you come over here to marketing, then you can see you got your Gmail Chrome extension. Now, the Wise Agent and Google Chrome extension, you get an email. I get an email from Sarah. I can open up that email and then just with a couple clicks, add Sarah into my CRM. One of the other things that I want to share with you, this is just a little bonus item. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about your Google Business Profile page, but I like sharing bonuses in all the classes that I do. One of the bonuses I'm going to share with you is another Chrome extension called Hunter. Hunter is one of the best extensions that you could ever get for your businesses. And if I look right up here, Hunter is installed on my extensions. You can see these smaller icons. Sometimes it'll show up underneath the puzzle piece, right? But those are my extensions.
Yeah.
Somebody list a major business, not a real estate business, but just a major or mid-size or even, medium-sized business. List that in the chat. I want to see if we can find something about them with Hunter. So just somebody type one in. The first one that types in is the first one I'm going to grab.
Yeah.
Type in a business nearby, Amazon.
That's a small business.
That's a small business. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. What is that? And so let's just test it. So if I come over here and if I go out to Amazon and I look in the top right-hand corner, give it a second for Hunter to light up. Some of these businesses will block Hunter. And Amazon did not. Would you like the 5,878 emails for Amazon? Because here they are. And do you want the HR department?
Very cool.
So here they are, right? And then I had somebody go, "Oh my gosh, you know what you've just done?" And I'm like, "No, what?" They go, "You've just empowered all the Karens of the world. I need to speak with your management." Never mind, I
Yeah.
have them. And you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's true." Right? So there's the whole list of the executive team. And
Yeah.
sometimes you get phone numbers.
And I could see this being so powerful when, and you said small to medium businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in, anywhere USA and you're, farming, I know we've talked about this. I think I've talked about this actually with Nakia on the podcast before. When you're, there and you're going to the local mom and pop shop, little diner or the restaurant or whatnot, you can go ahead and, obviously you want to get acquainted with them. Well, before you go in there, you've gone in there 3-4 times, you can go ahead and use Hunter to say like, okay, so who owns this place? Who are the people in there? So when you walk in, say like, oh, hey, Barry or whoever. Hey, Michael, I'm Eleni. Nice to meet you. I'm also a local business owner here. Then introduce yourself. But it's a little bit easier when you go in and you already know somebody's name. It's kind of a nice little tactic to go in already knowing that.
I had a 35-year pilot at American Airlines who had retired and got into real estate. And we showed him this, and he's like, "Wait a minute, are you telling me that I could go to the management team, which I finished on, and I could find everybody's contact info?" And I said, "Yep." And he almost fell out of his chair. He's like, "I know 70, like 85% of these people on this list." I'm like, "There you go.
Yeah.
They know you as an American Airlines employee. Now it's time to find out that you're a real estate agent." Right?
Yeah.
So that's just the power of the extensions. Wise agent extension, of course, but then of course Hunter as well.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the bread and butter of the show, the big dog. This is Google Business Profile. Everybody needs to have a Google Business Profile. This is completely free, and you need to not only have it, you need to feed it.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you the why. Why do you have to have it? And then we're going to show you how to feed it here over the next hour or so. This is a very.
I'd like to. Sorry, Michael. I'd like to see with a show of hands, like, and I know we can't see you guys, but there's that little raise hand in the bottom of your screen there on Zoom. If you could just raise your hand, click on that little button, raise hand. If you do have a Google Business, Google My Business page, I'd love to see. How many of you have that? So let's go ahead and see that. But yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, and I would say this too, and some of you are answering in host and panelists, if you guys would change that to everyone so everybody can see it. But only 44% of all the businesses in the United States, not just real estate, have this. And I would say less than 10% actually are doing it correctly and doing it the right way. And that's what we're going to show you. And so for those that don't, here's what happens. If I come over here, this is somebody that was in one of my training sessions, and Sarah Smith, Realtor. Well, there was another Sarah Smith in the class as well for home design. And so I go out and I look for Sarah Smith, Realtor, that huge white space on the right-hand side that comes up. That's her vacant property. She has not built her Google Business Profile page on there. Now, if I was looking on a mobile device, this is going to be like the first 3 or 4 swipes on that phone, but there's nothing there. And the problem with that as well is if you don't have this page set up on the left-hand side, some of these links on the left-hand side are going to be your name, but it's going to go to Zillow. It's going to go to realtor.com. It's going to, here in the state of Texas, every real estate agent has a HAR page, Houston Association of Realtors, even if they're not a member of HAR, because HAR goes out and creates that page. But if a lead comes in off of any of those pages, you're not going to get those leads. And if you do get those leads, you got to pay for them. So you got to secure your brand first and foremost. And the Google Business Profile page is the #1 way to do that. And then, of course, build on your search engine optimization and everything else. So this is what it looks like without. This is what it looks like with it, right? And this is my page. And we'll pull up some of the others that are in the chat that have had theirs. But if I look here, I've got the management control for my page because I'm logged in. But this is what it looks like on the right-hand side. You got 500, in my case, 558 reviews, 5-star review. You scroll down, you got your products, you got your updates. So for me, here's all my classes coming up. Here's my social media profile. So I'm securing my brand. But another part of this, and this would be like a part 2 class that we would talk about, is your SEO. Make sure that the links over here are your links. Make sure that you control the fishing poles and the hooks and the bait that are over here. So not only do I have one link to my website, I've got multiple links. I've got all my videos on YouTube, and then basically like everything on here is me versus a third-party company trying to control my brand. Because when those leads come in, I need to capture those leads, get them into Wise Agent, nurture them, and then get that process rolling. All right, so I think Sarah posted a question here.
Yeah, there's a few questions coming in. So one of them is, you know, what address do we put in the—
We'll do that. We'll answer that here in a second.
Yeah.
We'll get that covered.
So if their brokerage is in a different area, you know, what address is put in there? Another one is, how do I get my profile verified? So
we'll answer that as well too.
Yeah.
We'll go through that as best we can. All right, because time constraints. We're gonna go quick, guys. This is normally like a 2.5 hour class that I teach.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go and go quick, but know that it's being recorded. Now, a couple other things too. We search for the agent. We know who that agent is. That's pretty simple. It's like, oh, Michael Trethart, I can search for him. I can find him. That's pretty simple. Another reason why we want this page set up is if somebody comes over and says, Realtor near me, or we'll say Realtor near Dallas, Texas, then here comes the list. And your goal, all of you, your goal is to get into the 3-pack. This is what's known as the 3-pack, the map with the top 3 results. Now we can see the other businesses, and I can click on that and I can find them all, but your job, your mission is the 3-pack. So I always tell everybody in class, think of this as king of the hill. You got to knock them off the hill. And then when you knock them off the hill, celebrate just for a little bit, but just know somebody's coming to knock you off that hill. So you've got to continually feed this system. And we're going to show you how to feed this system here in just a moment. I'm going to give you the techniques of how to feed it. So this is how, if they don't know you, they're going to go and search for you. Now, another way to search, people are very spatial. We go on vacation, we look for restaurant near me. We go to, hike and bike trail near me. We do any type of search near me. So when I come over here, we're going to go in and we're going to type in Realtor near Denver, Colorado. I'm in Denver. I'm looking for homes. I zoom in on the map. I move the map. I do this. I do that. I hit search, and this result on the left is going to change. These 2 are paying to be here. And if I scroll down, these businesses, individual agents, teams, brokerages, they're all in the game because they have the Google Business Profile page. You gotta have your page to be in the game, right?
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So those that do not have their page set up, here's how you start. Maps.google.com, which is where I'm at right now. I'll put that in the chat. And over here on the top left-hand corner, you see the little menu option. It's like a little hamburger is what I tell everybody. Click on the hamburger. Go down to where you say add your business. And when you add your business, this is where we're going to start to put in the business name. Now, if I'm Michael Trethart and I'm an individual, I'm going to put in Michael Trethart, Realtor, and then my category is going to be real estate agents, right? I'm going to choose that. If I'm a team, put your team name in there. Everybody says, well, wait a minute, I got an LLC, I got an Inc., I got whatever you put on your sign is what your business name is.
Yeah.
What do the consumers see?
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of what we call NAP. I'm not going to go any farther because it's going to try to set up a page. But I will say this, for those that already have this set up, know this too. If you are part of another business, you can go out and create a business profile for that other business in the same account. So I've got 3 businesses that I'm a part of, and I can manage them all in this one Google account. So when it's time to advertise this business, I just click on it and jump over. When it's time to advertise this one, I can jump back. I can do all of that.
Yeah.
So now you're going to go in and you're going to put in your name, you're going to put in real estate agent. The next page that comes up is the address part of NAP. And everybody says, well, what address should I put in? And depending on which state you're in, and some states are very litigious about this, New Jersey being one of those, you have to put in the address where your license is hanging. Okay, so you got to put that in there. Now, some states, you can go in and put in an address that is a little bit different. Maybe you have a building that you don't office in the main building. You have an annex somewhere else. You can do that. Some people go, can I put a PO box in there? No, you can't put a PO box in there. There are those fake PO box addresses that look like legitimate addresses. We'll talk about all that here in a second. I will say this: the hardest part about setting this up is the address, because we have a lot of virtual agents out there. And they're like, well, my broker, my EXP broker is 50 miles away from where I'm at. You're going to have to figure out that address. Some people go, can I put my home address in there? Certain states don't allow that. Plus, from a security point of view, that may not be wise. So you've got to determine what that address is going to be. And that's why I tell everybody, it probably needs to be your broker address. And again, certain states will hammer you if you don't do that correctly.
Yeah.
Now, when I get start to move away from that page, this is where Google has a freak out. They're going to say, Elena, I see that you have your address in there, but we notice that another business is already at that address, like your brokerage. And Google's going to say, wait a minute, time out. Is that you? Are you that brokerage? Are you that Remax office or Keller Williams or Barry Brown Real Estate? Is that you? And this is where you get to a fork in the road in this setup. Basically, when you go in and set this up, you're going to say, no, that's not me. Stick with my page. Stick with Michael. Yeah. And there will actually be a message on that screen that says, this does not match. Like, no, I'm not the brokerage. This does not match. So you go to the fork in the road where you stay on your page. And you continue through the setup process, and they'll ask you your phone number and your website. And they'll ask you some pertinent information about your business, which we'll see all that here in a little bit, like office hours and all that other type of stuff, which we can set that up later. The biggest part is getting your address correct, getting your phone number correct, getting your website correct, getting the name correct, the NAP part. Now, when you get into the verification process, this is where it gets fun. This is where the address part matters. Some of you on here verified with a postcard. Type in postcard if you verified with a postcard. Like Google sends you the postcard. That was me. That's the old school way, right? Mm-hmm. And you would have like a 3 to 5 day wait. Card comes in. You do the postcard. You're verified. Some of you on here will get a text or phone option. Type that in if that was you. Like you got to call in a phone number, or you got to text and they'll send you the code and you can just type the code right in there. That's simple. And everybody goes, well, I want that. How do I get that? Google chooses. You don't get to choose. Then another option is, and this is the special people, you hit verified and they go, oh, congratulations, you're verified. Like you didn't have to do anything. And everybody in the room goes, well, what the heck? How'd they get that? Type that in if that was anybody in here, where you just hit verified and you're verified on the spot. Right? And everybody goes, well, I want that one. How do you get that? Google's tracking all of us, remember, and they have just determined that I guess they're a better person than everybody else in the room. So you have to go the hard way. They get to go the easy route, right? Now the fun one is the newest one, and that's video. And that's why address matters. So what Google wants you to do now, if you get the video option, is you have to go in and literally start a video of about a minute and a half of you videoing getting out of your car, walking to the front door of the office, showing the signage out front, showing your keys, unlocking the door, walking down the hallway, showing your name next to your door, showing your signage in your office and sending that video in. And they don't want people in it because of security issues and things like that. And everybody goes, well, I don't office at the office. How am I going to do that? Hollywood magic for a minute and a half, right? I mean, and if they choose that path for you, it's pretty much set in stone. Although I will say this, Let me give you this link. I have this on my website. So I have a resource page on my website. A lot of these free resources are right here. And on one of those pages, I have a ton of Google resources. I'm putting that link in there as well too. And on the Google page is Google Business Profile Support, formerly Google My Business, right? They give you an FAQ, but if you come down here to where you see Contact Us, this is how you can contact Google third-party overseas support. And you got to remember, it's third-party overseas support. Sometimes that can be challenging. Be very thorough, screenshots, date and timestamps, everything. They won't change the verification process for you, but if you've gotten suspended, you've gotten stuck in a loop, it's whatever, like you're just at a standstill, this is where you can go in and do this. If you say, hey, please give me the guidelines on what you want in the video, they can do that as well. But you can email support. They have now recently brought back their phone support as well. It's been out since COVID, but I believe they've started to bring that back for certain individuals.
So Susan has a question saying,
Sure.
So what if she gets a message saying that somebody else may manage this business profile?
That's the wrong fork in the road. So remember, we don't try to join the page that's already set up. We got to choose the "this does not match" page. That is that fork in the road that we were talking about earlier.
All right, Susan, hopefully you heard that one. But yeah, that's great information, because I know this is one thing that I think a lot of you might struggle with, especially like when you get, when you do get stuck. The help center is always a great thing. I know that's, that's always been a big deal at Wise Agent as well for us, is having that awesome support. So leverage that as much as you can. Yeah.
I will say this, the setup process can be a little tedious, but the juice is worth the squeeze, because you're going to see an uptick in your business. It's going to radically change. Now, some of you are asking, well, how do I know when I'm verified? They'll tell you your page is verified. And if you get verified, let's say you get verified today, it's still going to take it about 24 to upwards of 72 hours for it to fully be verified and set up so the whole world can go out and see it. But you can see right here, I'm verified because I know profile strength, I'm at a green. If I wasn't verified, there would be a message right up here that says get verified. Like I wouldn't be able to do what I need to be doing, right? Yeah. Do I have their contact number? Yeah, let me pull that out of my Rolodex. No, yeah. I don't have that. They don't share that with us. You got to go through that.
Hey, not Rolodex. It would be CRM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they don't have that. You have to go through that process. They'll call you. Yeah. They'll call you from an Eagle Mountain, California number, courtesy of New Delhi, India. Seriously. Yeah. But they'll show up as a Eagle Mountain ID on your phone. Yeah. Now, feel free to take a photograph of this page. This is where we're going to spend the majority of our time. This is where we're going to go in and we're going to talk about the big 5. So the 5 biggest things that I must be doing. And this is where we're also going to infuse a little bit of Wise Agent into this as well too. But the big 5, I have them listed in that subheader at the top where it says edit profile, add photo, add products and services, add update, ask for reviews. If you do those 5 things, you'll make a serious amount of money at minimal time and minimal cost. Okay.
And so, Carlos, for you is you're asking, what if I only have a website through my association? That's where Wise Agent landing pages can help you. Right. So you want to have a website, something that they can give you, whoever is coming to your Google page. And this is really important for you guys, because this is how you do lead generation, right? And this Google My Business profile, this is not costing you anything. This is where you go in and you create a landing page within your Wise Agent account. You'll get that URL once you've completed it, edited it, and whatever that you've done with it. And then you go back, you take that URL, you go to your Google My Business profile page, edit that link, and go ahead and pop in that landing page in there for yourself. So then whenever somebody goes to your profile on Google, they can click on it like, how do I get in touch with me? And so then they fill out that form. Now that's been added to your Wise Agent account as a prospect. And now you start working your prospect. call, email, text.
Right. So that's exactly right. So use the tools that Wise Agent has, right? And we're going to show you how you can drop that into the update page here in just a bit. So you got profile, you got photos, you got products and services, which is one thing, products and services, add update, ask for reviews. So here we go. Let's look at them here. So my page is verified. Here's another thing too, before I get into the big five. See these three dots right here? If I click on these three dots, some of you on this call, on this webinar, you may have had your page set up by somebody else or by HomeSnap. HomeSnap goes in and sets up pages. Well, if I come over here to where it says business profile settings and then people and access, you can see who has access to your page. So it's me, the owner, and then my assistant. And then down here, here's another issue that people run into all the time. I got 5 different email logins for Google. Like, which one was this page set up on? I don't remember. Invite all the versions of you to become an owner. And so no matter which login you're in, you're in. So you don't have to worry about which login this was all set up in. But make sure that you are the owner. If you're the real estate agent and it's your business, you have to be the owner. The difference between owner and manager, deletion capabilities, no deletion capabilities. If HomeSnap is in here, contact HomeSnap, say, give me ownership, they'll do it, and then you can kick them to the curb or you can keep them in there. It's your choice. You're the owner. Another thing about the 3 dots, type a yes if you are involved in multiple businesses. So if you're involved in different businesses, type a yes. Okay, lots of you, which is great. It's awesome. Entrepreneurism is the backbone of the United States.
Yes,
so these 3 dots right here, add a new business profile. This is where you go in and you can add a new one into the same email login for Google that we had before, and you go through the same process, and it's a staging company that you own. You set that up, and the cool thing about it is these 3 dots, I can then see my different profiles. So here's the one I'm working on. Here's my son's custom car detail business when he's not at Texas Tech. He's running this. And then here's our short-term rental property that we have in Panama City Beach, Florida. For rent, by the way, let me just throw that out there to everybody, right? Little selfless, shameless plug, but that's where you can go out and find that information. And if I need to go, oh, it's time for me to update something on the Beach Bliss property, I can just come over here and I can click on that. It'll jump me over to my Beach Bliss page with my management on that, make a change, drop a photograph in, do whatever I need to do on that one. Okay, I'm done. Let's go back to my other business. And we're back. So very simple to manage them all.
And will that mean that you can have the same address for those businesses?
Well, it's not website address, right?
No. I'm saying like the physical address portion of it. Will that allow? Will that allow you to have the same address? Yeah. So if you do it that way, instead of having it like, okay, I'm going to do, whatever, my real estate business, it's got this address, and then I want my hair salon or whatever my other business is, my staging company, whatever, I can have all of that under one address. So then it's not saying, hey, this has already been claimed by somebody else, or because I know that the claiming it does based on the address. So
another thing that comes up too, a lot of times people go, oh, well, an agent has already claimed the address at the office. They have for their business. But Sarah could go in as an agent and claim the address for Sarah's business at that same location. So just know that too. There can be multiple pins.
Yeah.
Location.
You could say Sarah's Realty at ABC, whatever brokerage. Exactly. And then I'm Eleni's Realty at whatever, or Eleni's team at ABC brokerage.
A lot of the offices I've trained at, you'll find there's like 7, 10, 15 different pins all kind of stacked up on top of each other on the map because they've all set their page up, but they're all getting business.
Yeah.
Because it all shows up in different forms and formats. We'll never understand the mystery of the algorithm of Google because they'll never tell you. Right?
No,
but you got to be in the game. You got to have the page to be in the game.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Edit profile. First of the big 5. This is simple. Pencil, fill in the data, right? Whatever you see, fill it in. Now, when you get down to the description, they give you 750 characters. Use 750. I did. Don't go in and say, I sell stuff to people over here, because they're like, wait, what? Right? Like,
Yeah.
what? And then also, this is the part too where somebody goes, "Oh, well, you know what? I had to put my broker address in. It's 50 miles away. I'm actually marketing over here where it says AY, XYZ, ABC, all this other type of stuff." This is where you can go in and mention where you work. Hey, I work this city. I work these counties. I work these zip codes. I work these areas.
Are you putting in keywords there?
You
Yeah.
can. It's more of a don't like just list keywords though.
No,
Like
no, no. Just like
infuse them
sprinkle
into.
in, like you want to put in like a keyword. When I say keywords,
Yes,
like the SEO purpose keywords, like, real estate professional,
that's right.
whatever it is, this particular city or this area or whatnot. So you want to
Right.
use, sometimes you do want to use those keywords.
Absolutely. And another thing too, everybody goes, "Oh, well, I'm just going to use Chat GPT," which I train on that, and it's good.
Mhm.
But remember, this is the Google world, and Google does not like Chat GPT. So when I'm doing things on my Google business profile page, like right here, Michael Treadhart and the michaeltreadhart.com team provide business and technology coaching for real estate agents and business owners. Write up a 300 character description that I can add to my Google business profile that describes the one-on-one and group coaching that we provide. And that was done in seconds. I'm going to use Bard to do that because Google is going to play favorites to Google.
Yeah.
So same
Well,
thing
I mean,
here. You don't want to
yeah.
write this, Bard can write this.
Okay. And you could say use all 750 characters, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure and include the following cities or the following counties, right?
Right.
Yeah. Opening date, phone number, website. Again, this is where you could drop in your Wise Agent landing page if you don't have a website that you want to use. This is new. Your social media profiles. They added this like literally last week. So just now kind of getting with the times, right? But you could go in and add all of those if you wanted to. Hours. This is where everybody laughs. Business hours, real estate agent, like 24-hour blinky sign. Yes, you could say you're open 24 hours, or you could put your actual hours in there that you want. You can mirror your brokerage. You can do whatever you want to do. Come on down. You got special hours, add more hours, all that other type of stuff. You have the ability. I'm actually Cherokee Indian. I'm from Oklahoma. There's a lot of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Cherokee Indians, right? But I'm indigenous owned, so I chose that. But I could come over here and choose any of these other categories. And Cindy says, with 24 hours, they'll call late night. Yeah, they will, because you said it's 24 hours. So remember that, right? And if you can match multiple categories, match multiples. If it doesn't match you at all, leave it alone. And the same thing goes for all of these. Like if it's your business, do you want to list it? Do you not want to list it? You just come down to each one of these pencils. Do you require appointments? And then when you come down here to service options, this one's fairly new. They're starting to put in, do you speak other languages? And there's a pretty robust list.
Yeah.
So you're going to go in and fill in the blanks and then periodically come back and look at this because they'll make updates throughout the year. Now, some of you may be looking at this going, well, I don't have exactly what you have, Michael. They're doing a staggered rollout on some of these features, right? And if something's wrong, you can go back in and change it. But what I tell everybody is don't be ADD while you do this. And half the audience was like, what? What did you say? Don't be ADD while you do this. Because if you go in and hit this pencil, make a change, save it, go, no, I didn't like that. Let me go back, change it, save it. No, let's go back to the, like Google's watching everything. If they see this page starting to freak out, they're going to be like, okay, timeout, suspended, something weird's going on. Go to the corner. That type of situation. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there was a question about, would you use your business or personal social media pages? What are your thoughts on that, Michael?
Depends on how you are using social media to begin with. For me, it's my personal ones because I talk business, but it's also my relevancy, right? I mean, it's me making the connection. The Facebook business pages, they're pretty much DOA anyways. Facebook is moving away from business pages. So personal is where I would say you go.
Yeah. And it's wherever you want to direct people. So if you want to direct people to your business page, because that's where you're posting a lot of things, but, or maybe you're not using your business page, then put it to your personal page. It's wherever you want your traffic to go to. This is what it's going to be used for. So be mindful of those things. And I love what you said about like saving and, going back and editing. A lot of times I see this happen very often is that if you change too many things, all at the same time, you're not going to, and let's say something goes for the better, you don't know what it was that you changed that made it, or it goes for the worse. You're not going to know what was it that you did
triggered it. Yeah, exactly.
That triggered that change. So do one thing at a time and then see, let it, play out, let it test out for a little bit of time, and then go back and say like, okay, this is not working. Okay, well, now you know what isn't working. It's that one piece. Go ahead and change it.
Calm, cool, and collected as you go in and make these changes.
Yeah.
Now, the number one thing that we must do is get reviews. We have got to get reviews. It is essential. It is the lifeblood of this page. Write this down, type this up. Your minimum amount of reviews that you must have is 50. You are not in the game with Google until you're above 50. And if you're above 50, congratulations, don't stop. Get more. It's that simple. And when you get these reviews, respond to these reviews. And don't just go, thanks, right? Because people are going to write this long, great thing about Jeff, my business partner, and the social media help that he gave him with the online success review. And if I just went, thanks, they're like, really? Seriously? Think about it this way. It's product placement. If Kim, actually, I'll just use somebody over here we'll use Mary Schmidt. So somebody writes a review for Mary. Hey, Mary, thanks so much for helping us to purchase our home. Man, we love it. It's awesome. Great job, Mary. And Mary comes back, and I'm going to pretend, Mary, that you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Hey, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your Dallas-Fort Worth real estate journey. That home that you purchased here in the Colleyville area is amazing. That neighborhood is such a family-friendly neighborhood. You guys are going to love it for years and years to come. Kudos on your home purchase, and welcome to the North Texas area. What did you basically tell Google? What you do, where you do it, how you do it. It's essential, right? Yeah. It's essential. You got to do it. You got to do it. Now, how do I get these reviews? I'm going to answer that in here a second. But let's say that Kim was off the rails and she just wrote a review that is like racist, sexist, profane. It's just off the board cuckoo. Report the review.
Yeah.
If Kim wrote a 2-star review and just said, well, we just didn't connect, I can report it, but did she violate anything? No, she just gave her opinion. Yeah. So I can still respond to that. Hey, Kim, I'm sorry that you had that experience. Here's my direct line. Give me a call. Let's see if we can make this a win-win. You're probably not going to ask or be able to save that one person, but it'll save the thousands that come after her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how do I get reviews? A couple different ways. One of the things that I can do, easiest way, ask for reviews with this button. They'll give you this link. I can copy this link. I can paste this link right over here. And everybody that clicks on that will go out to my page and could write a review about me. Now, the problem with that is if I text it, it'll show Michael Treadart in the image of the text. And people go, oh, it's from Michael. But if I email this to somebody, somebody's going to look at this and go, yeah, I'm not clicking on that. The heck is that? That looks kind of scary. Like, I'm not touching that. So you can do a couple different things. You can use like abbreviators, tiny URL, bit.ly, things like that. Okay. Another thing that you can do is if you have a domain name, create what's called a subdomain forward. Google it. Subdomain forward. And all of your different companies will show you how to do it. GoDaddy being one of those. And basically, let me ask you this. Let me ask everybody in the chat. Have you learned something already that's going to improve your business? Type a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're seeing some yeses.
Well, and I want to share another tip. I mean, I love the subdomain, and sometimes, I know we get a little busy. We have great intentions of doing something, and then just doesn't happen for whatever reasons. Maybe sometimes it's a little technically challenging. But I would say take that link that Google is giving you for your reviews, create a call to action button in your email signature or in your emails, in your newsletters that you're sending out through Wise Agent. On your landing page, create a button saying, hey, if you know, and if you're sending this to past clients, like, hey, I want to just get an updated contact information for you, and you want to send them a landing page so they can fill out their contact information. What you could do is after they click on submit and then you redirect them somewhere, you could redirect them to that page. There's a plethora of things that you can do with that link. I think one of the biggest one is having it on your email signature. Every time you send out an email, that is something that they can see. And, you know, if they feel compelled after a great exchange with you, that's what's happening. You know,
so I agree. And with the subdomain, you can have a subdomain for anything you want. buy.michaeltritthart.com, sellers.michaeltritthart.com, review, recruiting, whatever. But like right here, if I type in review.michaeltritthart.com, this is going to take you back out to the page on my website where I want to gather the reviews. And what this page is actually something that my website design team has created for all agents. And basically it'll capture reviews for Google, for Zillow, if we wanted it. I just want Google, but Zillow would be sitting here. Facebook could sit here. Yelp could sit here. They would all count as Google reviews. They all feed into the Google system, which is pretty awesome. But also it's a map of all your listings that you've ever sold, right? But for us, it is over here showing my property. So I'll give you a real estate example. Here's David Brenton out of Indianapolis with that widget. So you can just drive everyone to your widget. And if I go to where it says about us, and I believe it's meet the team. Nope, sorry, wrong one. I saw it as I clicked it, testimonials and reviews. So here's David before he goes out for a listing. Hey guys, here's all the homes I've ever sold in Indianapolis. Whoa, I know, right? Yeah, great transaction. Thanks so much for working with you guys. Hey, come over here, write a review, Zillow, Facebook, Google. Well, all these reviews will count up as Google. So that's a widget that my team has created that anybody can use. It'll showcase all your inventory and capture your reviews as well too. So you could create a subdomain to that. This widget is called, I'll put the link in here.
Yeah. And while you're posting that link, I'm going to just address Andrea's question. Andrea's saying, you know, in the past, I had not been asking for my past clients that I've gone through closings with for a review. And she's starting to do that now, which good for you, Andrea. And I hope you all are going to be doing that now going forward. But if you're going back in time and you're asking, you know, the last 50, 60 people that you've gone through a transaction with to write a review, is it going to look, Andrea's concern is it going to look like I'm just getting a bunch of bulk reviews right now, which could seem kind of unbelievable. Like in the last week, I have 60 reviews from people. I would just say to you, Andrea, just ask them to say like, hey, you know, so when you're asking for the review to be done, just say like, hey, do you mind mentioning when we transacted? Like, hey, you know, 6 months ago when we went through this and we purchased a home, or January of 2023 when we closed, or July of 2022, whatever that date was. Then that way it kind of shows like, okay, there's some longevity here.
Yeah. And I would also say this too, just because you ask them in bulk doesn't mean they're going to respond in bulk. Well, that's human nature.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That is
so there'll be some that will trickle in. There'll be some that are right on the spot. You know, it's just don't be scared.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're scared. I'm just saying don't be scared of talking to your people. Don't be a secret agent, and don't expect them to respond back immediately. Right. But you got to put it out there.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to go quick here. So here we go. Photos. The number one thing about photos, write this down. 150 equals 1,000. 150 photographs equal a 1,000% increase in consumer engagement. So you got to put photos in. There it goes. 150 selfies? Oh, I got that covered. Some of you do, right? But maybe it's your skyline. Maybe it's closings. Maybe it's houses. Maybe it's whatever you want to do, right? And I know Michael said send 10 per week for 5 weeks, spread them out. You can. But I've also seen where Google doesn't care. If you want to dump 150, dump 150. They don't care. They'll count them. And people go, can I organize them? Nope. It's a dump. You're just dumping the photographs in there, right? Can I delete some that were duplicates? Absolutely. Yeah. Then this is the photo album. Here's the logo. Here's the cover photo, right? Well, the logo is going to show up over here. It's very small. You barely see it. I'm moving my mouse on it. A lot of people just make a QR code. Cover photograph is going to be the one that shows up right here. Now, what I do, we don't have time to show in this class. This is in the full sessions that I teach, and Sarah posted that link earlier, and you guys can find that. I go in and I watermark all my photographs. And everybody goes, well, why would you do that? Well, number one, protect the photograph, but number two, call to action. I want everybody going to my website. My son, who, when he's doing his mobile car detail business, he's got jetcardetail.com. He'll go out and mobile car detail here in the Dallas North Collin County area, and he'll put his phone number. And he gets calls all the time. Hey, I saw your information on the internet, saw it on Google, saw it somewhere. Can you come out and mobile car detail or my truck in Melissa? And he's like, sure can. Yeah. The videos, keep them short.
Yeah.
And people are asking how to watermark. We're going to do, we don't have time today.
Yeah.
We're going to do that in the book.
Canva.
Yeah.
Canva. Yeah.
Canva. It's a little bit of a process, but Canva is where you can create it. Yeah. But here's a 7-second long video of what he does in mobile car detail. And people are like, what am I looking at? That's the hood of the Mercedes that he just finished.
Yeah.
And people are like, whoa. Well, real estate, here's what you do. The water's moving from the jets in the pool, and you're really zoomed in on the water, and you zoom out and you show the expansive backyard. It's kind of a TikTok, Instagram reel mindset, right? So photos and videos can go in there for sure. All right. Let's go back here, show you an integration that we can do with your listings. So right here it says products and services. Videos are going to be about 20 seconds. So services, this is the written description of your business. What do you do? What do you do for staging? What do you do for professional photographs? Like list out, line item out all the stuff that you do on the buy side, on the sell side. And you can then go out and write a description. And that's what I showed you earlier with Bard. I'm going in and writing these descriptions with Bard. Products. For me, this is where it shows all the businesses and websites and everything else that we help people with, all the stuff that we build. This is where you're going to go in as an agent and you're going to say product. What's my product? We're going to add one. And my category is going to be called, new category, and it's going to be called current listings. And my product name is 123 Main Street, and I drop in the photograph, and there's the price of my listing, and there's the description, and there's my landing page. Could be a Wise Agent landing page.
There you go.
Right? And then I have all that information in there. That product sells, so then I create another category called sold transactions, and then I just come over here and change the category to sold transactions, and my image of my listing is still going to be there. And these products are going to show right over here on the right-hand side. And if you hit view all, they're going to see it all here. And people have said, well, how many can you put in there? I've not seen it maxed out. Go max it out. And I've had brand new agents go, well, I don't have any listings. And I go, wrong. Your brokerage. Go talk to your broker. And they're like, oh yeah, that's true. And so we had a brand new agent put in 20 new listings, and she's been in the business for like 2 months. And all of her friends were like, Sarah, you've got 20 new listings? She's like, I sure do. You want to be 21? Let's go. What's up? I mean, that's the mentality, right?
Yeah.
So use this. That's a huge spot for your landing pages. Another big spot for your landing pages, add update. So add update. This is like a 30-day billboard for your business. Added somebody new to your team, broke some records, did this, shout it from the mountaintop. Let's put it in here. Let's drop in a photograph. Let's drop in a link to whatever I want them to go to, which could be a landing page from Wise Agent. Add update, add an offer. 20% off? Well, we don't like to offer discounts like that. So maybe my offer is going to be about, hey, I do free CMAs all year round. Here in the state of Texas, in the spring, blue bonnets pop up, and so do our property taxes every year. And everybody hates them. So maybe you create a little ad for 3 months about, hey, I can help you fight your property taxes. And here's my landing page Go fill this in, and you've created this landing page in Wise Agent.
Yeah.
And then I could come back, and the third and final item is add an event. Well, maybe I'm hosting a Toys for Tots for Christmas. Maybe I'm hosting a golf tournament. I'm hosting anything, everything. I'm hosting an open house.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Start date, end date, event details, and all of that information can be created with those landing pages in Wise Agent. So that's how you infuse Wise Agent into your Google Business Profile page.
And then in those landing pages, because it's one singular page for one single purpose of getting people to view what it is that they're specifically looking for. And then that bottom section, typically it's in the bottom, is where your contact form lives, where they could then, if it's something that's happening where they just happen to stumble upon you through Google, well, then you capture their contact information. You don't want to just drive traffic to somewhere and then get like a thumbs up or a little heart, which those are great. They make you feel warm and fuzzy, but they don't pay you. So,
Exactly.
and you can't really exchange any kind of conversation or build any kind of relationship with somebody that just said, cool. So what you want is you want to capture their contact information. They automatically, because it's a landing page within Wise Agent, it automatically gets added to your CRM. And now you start dripping on them, you start calling them, you start texting and emailing, and you start building that relationship, which will lead to the transaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, as
like 3 minutes left, Michael,
Yeah.
just to keep everyone. I know this is a lot. We've been going pretty quickly here, and I'm excited for all of you to rewatch this, which it is recorded, and you will get a copy of this in your inbox in a little while. So rewatch it, and you can slow it down too.
No, yeah, because I mean, keep in mind, we did less than 60 minutes of what I normally do for 2.5 hours, and I have a full day long class that we do as well too. So here's another thing: where there's Zoom options that you guys can join us. I can come out to your brokerage, to your association, to your chamber of commerce. I travel and train everywhere. We can bring this in person with hands-on workshops where we go in depth, and you have time in the class to actually set it up. It's not just me talking. You actually have time to actually do it. So if that's of interest to you, reach out to me. We can set that up. And
you'll be at Anaheim in what is it, like a couple
I'll
of weeks?
be there November 14th and 15th. I'll be doing 3 sessions on the 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
So one other final thing too is some of you on here are like, okay, this is awesome. This is good. I don't want to do this. Can y'all just do this for me? You know, that type of mentality. Or can you coach me so I understand it and then we do it? Yes. So this is where you would actually work with my business partner, Jeff Kale, the former IT director of Petco. And what he will do is he will provide you a review of your platforms. He'll look at what you got, not just Google, but online review, websites, everything. It's a $770 value. He'll create an online lead generation blueprint. Like, here's your plan of action. Here's how you collect the leads that you can then funnel into Wise Agent and start to work those leads. That's a $99 fee. You also get these ebooks that show you all of this content, 2,000 home value search terms. If this is of interest to you, scan that QR code. I'll keep it up here for a second. Scan that QR code. It'll bring you to a form. You fill that form in. You pay the $99 one time. You'll get 2 automated emails from our system. The first one is your receipt. The second email is going to be a link to Jeff's calendar to where you can set up a time. You pick a time on his calendar to talk. He'll go through the 45-minute recorded Zoom with you, reviewing everything and making sure that you have the correct plan of action to succeed with your online lead generation. Google, of course, and Google Business Profile is going to be a big part of that. But this is where you would start if you're interested in working further with our coaching team and starting that process of improving your lead capture and online lead generation.
All right.
That's a lot in 60 minutes.
I know it was. And I want to address a couple of things. I saw somebody was saying, hey, what if we're not using Wise Agent? You could go ahead and try it out free. If you go to wiseagent.com and sign up there for your free 14-day trial. I saw also a question from Chantella and Amarita. You guys were both asking like, okay, how about Google ads and Facebook ads? We're actually going to be talking about that next week with one of my closest friends within the industry and outside of the industry. We're really good friends. Marcy James and I are going to be talking about how to capture some new business, doing some things using Google ads and Facebook ads. So go ahead and sign up for that webinar that's happening next week, Thursday as well. So I know, Michael, I'm going to see you in Anaheim. I will be there. If you guys are going to be in Anaheim as well for a National Association of Realtors Conference and Expo, Wise Agent does have a booth. Stop by our booth. I will be there intermittently on and off, but I'm going to have a team there. Stop by and, for a quick chat and a meet and greet. We always love getting to know you guys a little bit more. Also come by for our swag. We've got some new swag and some new stuff going on too.
Yeah.
So
download the NAR app and you'll find me as one of the presenters and you can connect with me and
yes.
we'll find a time to meet up.
Yes. And Michael will stop by the booth as well. So looking forward to seeing you all in the next couple of days. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.